Pixelpamsies Tumagrana Zimoy. Aki e Favo.
Kunchli Bavlay.
Stoon Mola.
Renta.
Tumagani Zimoy.
Shumba Nuna.
Anu Zerf. Yumazaru Infant.
First, we had the Lincoln Logs, then Legos, then Barbie and her dream houses. Creativity and life simulation has come to the masses in many ways. But at the turn of the 21st century, one of, if not the most impactful experiences of the digital age for life simulation, The Sims, was born. It stands as one of the most successful and dominant IPs of its time, and up to now breaks ground on what immersive life simulation means to the world with every single expansion and iteration that they've dropped. From living large to life and death and everywhere in between, including Castaway, Bustin' Out, and even The Herbs, which was interesting in retrospect, but we love you anyways. The Sims is a global phenomenon, a generational franchise, and a property that continues to deliver slice of life arguably better than anyone else in entertainment. And for me personally, it's a series that I have the utmost admiration for. Way back when the Tripp you hear today was just a baby staycation, my love of The Sims came from my older sisters. Seeing this Nokia-level thick-ass game case come out, and becoming a backseat viewer to the creation of entire families, house robberies, and removing of swimming pool ladders built enough curiosity and amazement in my brain to act. My first hands-on title was the GBA version of The Sims Bustin' Out, followed by the PS2 version of The Sims 2 and the Herbs singing that Jabba Doo-wah, Jabba Jadoo-wah, and I never looked at life sims and general character creation screens the same again. As I sat back and thought about my interactions, respect, and love for The Sims and creating characters alike, the more I thought about how deep that root runs between the Sims series and the group of people that got me into the franchise in the first place. Black women. When I look out at the landscape, I don't think there are too many pairings out there that are as heavily intertwined in The Sims and black women. That's a Mario and Luigi, Shaq and Kobe, PB&J type of combination. Out of the millions of black women that are gamers, there's a strong chance that they have played or consistently play The Sims in some capacity. The love is real. The commitment to it, the embrace of it, and the creativity added in The Sims by black women has stood the test of time to be one of the biggest examples of connection and community in gaming. And the more I dwelled on that foundational connection between The Sims and black women and what came from it, it's jarring to realize how much of The Sims' development wasn't reciprocal with that love. The Sims, much like the rest of gaming, has not been a beacon of representation and proper portrayal of black people across its history. It's not the worst case in gaming ever, but in a life simulation where customization, character building, and environment setting with so much choice is the name of the game, The Sims categorically fell into inadequacy over the years. You don't have to be Sherlock Holmes on a case to map out the fact that The Sims, as an entity, wasn't always doing right by the black player base. The Sims as a community was already a minefield for black people just trying to connect as the franchise grew. Creator Amira Virgil, aka X Mira Mira, commented on the communal struggles of the franchise in the book Black Futures. She stated that, quote, "Other spaces in the Sims community are not welcoming to POC simmers and content creators. Racist trolls would populate the official forums, telling simmers that hair that looks like theirs should be optional custom content, in addition to various microaggressions simmers would constantly deal with in primarily white spaces. Non-black simmers making black sims and deciding that they suddenly wanted to implement a negative storyline filled to the brim with stereotypes." And on top of the existing community, the development of the game itself was massively catered to a single demographic, so the experience itself was a huge factor in black gamers being on the outskirts of quality options. Listen, just look at the stock black families and townies that have been made available over the years. In all that time, we had the Jang family, the Scott family from Cottage Living, the Keaton family from Sims 3, who I'm not sure are really truly black, but just assume they are like a lot of people, the Spencer Kim Lewis family, and that's really it off the top of my head. I mean, we've had some assorted townies in those families, and honestly, some of those are mad debatable. We don't even know for sure in a few cases. As black simmers didn't find quality in the stock offerings, the next wall was unfortunately found and hit quickly when they turned to create a sim. Skin tones felt inaccurate. They looked ashy, dull, lacked depth and variety. Clothing and styling just wasn't up to speed when it came to black fashion overall. And hair was, yeah, it just wasn't fully reflective of the diversity black hair actually holds. If you want to get forensic with this, there weren't any curled or afro styles of standard until The Sims 4 Island Living Honestly, and using a cauliflower as a base of reference for black hairstyles isn't the greatest look in Maxis and EA's track record on this matter. At best, Black Simmers were stuck with inadequate assets to work with, and at worst, they faced conformity and abandoned the efforts to create characters that look like them, whether that be born from frustration or underlying suggestion from societal messaging. As much as The Sims attempted, whether it be tame or in some cases ridiculous swings to capture blackness in their game. I'm sorry, Herbs, listen, I love you, fam, but some of this was a little out of pocket. A lot of what they did never hit true to what other more catered demographics had. But around the time of The Sims 4 release, the frustration from years of dissatisfaction over black customization and expansion of tech access created a wave of Black Simmers to mod the game and infuse some much needed quality into the experience. There were so many modders and creators, many of whom were black women, that popped up to add better hair, more stylish and culturally relevant clothing, and diverse skin tones that shifted the paradigm for Black Simmers and the general consumer base at large. I couldn't even think of The Sims now without that association of depth in modded content, and that bled into the game to aesthetics and even beyond. I've seen traits and abilities, animations, and more added fun and creative coverage that boosted the wave of immersion that black women were leading the charge on. That explosion of black creativity in the Sims 4 era helped push the payload further than ever before to change things for the better in the Sims ecosystem. For one thing, we've seen Sims machinima and content creation around the game hit new heights, due in large part by the creations of a wave of enabled black creators. After decades of hard work that was made harder by the prior conditions they built productions and content in. And beyond pure creation, consultancy between EA and black voices in the space have only increased to better address problems Black Simmers have been vocal and more recently active about over the Sims' lifespan. Simply put, the community of Black Simmers breaking ground through their custom content was too powerful to ignore, and has opened up new pathways with the dev teams themselves to collaborate and work to better integrate black and POC-based content into the game. This is manifested in content drops like the Winnie Harlow drop and urban homage kits that brought new skins and styles into the base game, and larger efforts like the Plain Color campaign, which highlights underrepresentation in the gaming industry and the concentrated efforts from The Sims to make progress to correct that in their experience. Black women have made and continue to make waves with what they bring to the IP, and it's evidently impacted black consumers playing, and a whole lot more Simmers in general for keeping it a buck. Because I already know black culture and creativity is gold to everybody inside and outside of it. But why? Why did black women get into The Sims at all? Why did they forge this special bond with this franchise to the point that it is a cultural cornerstone when it comes to gaming? And why did they even bother persisting with The Sims to create this dynamic in the gaming space despite the franchise's flaws? Now I could sit here all week and speculate on all of these whys, but in this case, let's do the best thing possible and give you the truth on why from the folks who know these answers best.
So, let's get into it. Hey everyone, my name is Danielle, but everyone kind of knows me as Ebonics or Ebonic Sims.
Greetings and salutations, y'all. It's your girl, D. Sarah O.
Hello, I am Kristen, also known as Coco Games on the internet.
Hello there and happy time zone. My name is Ivory and I am the content creator behind the YouTube channel and Twitch stream, My Gameplay Diary.
Hello, I am Jess, aka J-Town Holla.
Hello, my name is Amira Virgil, also known as X Mirror Mirror. I'm a content creator, a community manager, a streamer, and I'm also the founder of the Nord Network.
It blew my mind. I loved it. I was like, wait, I get to play God? I can just remove ladders from pools? Ooh, love that. Yes, give me more.
It's been one of the games that just made me feel seen and made me feel like this is the game for me. I can always entertain myself for hours on end playing The Sims.
The woohoo was scandalous at the time. Oh, gag. You mean what? Obsessed, obsessed. It was everything to me.
I had never seen a life simulation game before The Sims, and it was something that kind of stuck with me as a young child.
I just liked the look of it, and then once I had the opportunity to play it for the first time, I just loved the element of being able to create a whole bunch of different lives and stories and just being able to control those kind of things as well. I have a very big imagination and I used to read a lot as a child. So it kind of felt like the stories that I was reading, I could kind of bring to life in the game.
I love storytelling. I love storytelling. You know, I am a retired fan fiction writer and I just have always had that element in my life. And so to have this tool where, yes, crazy things are going to happen because life is crazy, it was really just the creative aspect of it all.
I wasn't seeing what I wanted to see. The final straw for me was sitting through about 70 pages of skin tones and not seeing any vibrant, darker skin tones.
The skin tones for Darker Sims used to be very gray and ashy looking.
Everything I saw was ashy, gray.
And I was like, who is this? This isn't an alien. What's going on?
You ever see a chocolate bar go bad and that thin white layer of like film that sits on a chocolate bar? That is what the skin tones used to look like. And I personally was tired of it. And this is one of the few games that I could go in and change it myself.
When it came down to trying to tell the stories that I wanted to tell, which featured elements of their kind of really proud blackness, I wasn't able to do that because I was lacking the content to do so. So all of that changed when I decided to make a dashiki for The Sims. From then, I really understood just how easy it was to start being the curator of my own authentic stories in the game and not waiting for the developers to give me the tools that I needed to tell the stories that I wanted to tell that were authentic to me and matched my lived experiences.
Once I found out how to make things for The Sims, I was like, okay, everything that I want to say in my school life, everything that I want to say in my classes, everything, all these ideas that I have that I feel like aren't being heard, I can do it in this thing that I love, which is The Sims.
It's doing enough to keep me interested, and I'm still having so much fun with the game. I do hope that we do see a Sims 5 eventually. For the time being, I'm happy to keep playing this game. Thank God for all the content creators out there. Without that, I will say this game would not be playable for me. The skins, the hair, the attire, there's so much out there that just really makes me so happy. And then the mods, of course, they just add like an extra level of mess that I really enjoy.
I know that there is a Black girl out there that aspires to one day start their own YouTube channel or make content centered around The Sims 4, and they need people like us to look up to. So that's why till this day, I will always continue to be that representation within the Sims community.
It was more so just existing as a Black lesbian woman in the world and having to know that I'm not really welcome into spaces, but I have to kind of create those spaces on my own. Black Simmers definitely hold it down when it comes to making content that resonates with culture and resonates with the other gamers. For me, it wasn't about sticking around. It was just continuing to enjoy the game that I've always loved and making sure to speak up for the Black representation that I know we deserve from the game, because we've gotten it so much from individuals like custom content creators, modders, animators, and just regular gamers like me.
Honestly, this is my home, and a lot of the Simmers who have supported me over the years, there's no way that I could just be like, all right, I'm done, thanks a lot. As much as I'm loyal to the game, I'm also loyal to the community. That I honestly would not have been able to experience or achieve as many of the things that I've achieved in the last 10 years if not for the support, if not for the love, if not for all of the downloads, like shouting me out, uplifting me, all of those things. Like, the community has really, really done that for me. The supportive side of the community has honestly made it so worthwhile, and I'm so grateful to have had that level of support for so long.
I stuck with The Sims because I enjoy it. I stuck with The Sims because I refuse to let a bigot ruin my experience. I refuse to let people who are unhappy with themselves ruin what I enjoy and what I love and what I like. We deal with enough nonsense, enough BS out in the real world. I'm not gonna come home and be subjected to it too. I don't allow nonsense or goofy people ruin my experiences.
I don't think I'll ever get tired of pouring into the community that I've created and the community that me and a lot of Black simmers have created that will always be the most appealing part of it. Yes, I love the game. Yes, I love the franchise, but it's really this community that I've created that embraced me when I felt my lowest, that has always made me want to play and want to create even more.
I'm really happy to be a Black simmer. I'm really happy to be a Black lesbian woman in the gaming world, and be able to show that representation for the next generation of Black queer women, Black women, immigrant women, African women, and being able to live in my truth and enjoy gaming and showcase those parts of myself through gaming and through being part of the gaming community overall.
The Sims has not only been a positive creative outlet for me, but it also has connected me with so many people in different parts of the world, and I've met new friends and built a community thanks to this game, and I look forward to many more years to come and many more Sims franchises.
So yeah, I hope The Sims will take some strides to better represent Black women. I think we're an important part of the Sims community. There's room for everyone, so I do hope that people learn to be a lot more supportive and kind, because people say a lot on Twitter and they can't fight. So like, what's going on?
The Sims has taught me you need to think of the other first, and that benefits everyone. If you just thought of the other first, the marginalized first, it benefits all, because now you see people downloading The Sims and it's default to have all of these things that a lot of people had to fight to get into the game. Black folks, marginalized folks need to be way more represented and thought of at the first draft.
Be the change you want to see. You tired of something, change it. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things that over the years I've been tired of, so I change, I fix, I do what I can. And don't let people who are unhappy with themselves and their lives dictate how you live your life. Do not let goofy people ruin your experiences. Enjoy what you enjoy, and find community if that's what you care to do. If you don't, just consume the content, do what you want to do, but don't let people dictate your experiences.
When we do maybe finally see a new version of what The Sims will look like in the future, that all of these things are taken into consideration, and we are at the forefront of the development. We want to see textures, okay? We want to see a range of melanin. We want the color wheel back. Don't take away the color wheel again. I'm excited for the future of The Sims. I will always be a simmer. There's no doubt about that. It's honestly changed my life in so many ways that I simply cannot explain.
Black women fell in love with the Sims scene because of their desire for creativity without constraints. They wanted an area, a true forum to express themselves and carve out their own slice of life how they saw fit. Even in an experience where the tools at hand weren't forged with them in mind, Black women kept creating, kept challenging, kept trusting their gut that the status quo wasn't right, and eventually reshaped how The Sims looks for the better of all of its players. And to the credit of The Sims devs, they have made a lot of strides to help make that a reality over time as they listen and improve their experience. But for the community and the game itself, there's still a long way to go. Content creators who've been adding to the collective good of the game should be compensated and recognized for their efforts to help change how we all see The Sims. Functions, features, and quality introduced by Black creators needs to be normalized and native to the core experiences of The Sims as we move into the future. And I'm not talking one-off collabs and small packs, I mean standardized style that is accurate to the needs and desires of Black Simmers. You can just look and see the petitions and campaigns out there that exist to keep pushing on this, because the marathon has only just begun. In a society that routinely undermines and outcasts Black women, they've created a place to control their own desires and express their own creativity, free of the constraints the world tries to impress upon them. And from that control and creativity, they do what they do best: shine, stunt, and set the cultural standard that the rest of the world can't help but try to emulate in their own actions. And long may it continue. The modding space is better for it. Content creation is better for it. The Sims is better for it. Gaming is better for it. And the world is better for it. Hey, good people of the internet, hope you enjoyed that video right there. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and run to the comment section and give me your thoughts about this topic. Matter of fact, if you made it to the end of the video, go down to the comment section and type out Jaboduwa, double. I'm just curious on how some of y'all are going to spell that out, but I appreciate you nonetheless. And a huge thank you to J-Town, Holla, Coco Games, Ivory, aka My Gameplay Diary, the Sarah O, X Mira, and Ebonics for blessing this video with your perspectives. This would not have felt right at all if y'all weren't in here. So listen, if you're still watching, please clap for them and go show love to all of these creators. Their links will be in the description box below. If you want to check out more of The Sims in this vein of conversation, I highly recommend you give the Plain Color campaign documentary a look in. The vid's in the description and it's on screen right now. This video went headfirst into what I want to see more of in the gaming space and beyond. But there's something out there that I want to see less of in those same places. Leaks. I'm beyond tired of it, so I made a video to break it all down. Check it out. And with that being said, I am just about out of time here, but don't trip. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.